So, I know this video right here is familiar from the previous one that I made about me playing the knight or the rework the knight for the first time. But I'm just gonna put it there. I'm not here to show you the gameplay again. I actually want to discuss about how the knight feels and what my opinion rework of my own head or my own mind that I would like to give him, and hopefully just hopefully that this whole rework in my own head makes Knight much better killer. And I hope Behavior would do something like this, but unfortunately I feel like they probably not to. But I just want to see if you guys, any of you who even likes this idea, whether it's too OP or too weak. But here's my rework idea. So normally before I even talk about the rework though, let's discuss what's wrong with the Knight now. So Knight has been reworked, if you have not heard. He's been reworked to how his guards work and stuff. They switched the hunt duration for the Carnifex because he used to have a 24. Now Jailer seems to have that 24 since now Carnifex can just break pallets quickly, mainly used for order. So they kind of switched that for like a little bit of purpose since Jailer's probably the weakest. They also made it so that the further your patrol path, the increased time of a hunt duration can last of the factor of 1.5, which means like 12 seconds of a guard like Carnifex and Assassin. Well, it's now 24 seconds if you're at max distance. And then for Jailer, it'll be up to 36 at max distance. So Jailer is going to be hunting the longest right now. As you can see in this video, he's hunting Michaela. Now, he also had a couple of nerfs. You can't spawn a guard if you have gone to 10 meters yet. This is used to prevent them from sandwich teching. That's what the people call it, the 2v1 scenario. And also, if you stand near a guard within 8 meters, the hunt duration will deplete much quicker at 3 times, which I'm not sure the actual time. I haven't even looked it up yet, but that's all I know for now. I mean, and they also made a quality of life where you can now manually switch your guards, and each of them have a cooldown of 10 seconds. Now, in the PTB, there used to be like an individual cooldown, which made playing Knight much simple. Not really simple, but like, if it makes playing him feel so much smoother. Like, it just makes playing him feel good. Now, unfortunately, that got removed due to Behavior claiming it was a bug, which I disbelieve. I know they say it's a bug, but I completely disbelieve. Anyways, now each guard have their own cooldown of 10 seconds, like you see right here. The Assassin hit that Feign, and my Carnifex is already on cooldown, which makes no sense whatsoever because the Carnifex has not even been used. And here I'm going to break that gen with the Carnifex, and Assassin, I guess he would make sense to be on cooldown. I used him earlier, but Jailer should have been used, yet Jailer was on cooldown. Anyways, now, what's wrong with the Knight right now is that the Assassin, because of this hunt duration time increase with that patrol range, Assassin's mainly pretty much going to be OP now because he's the fastest guard. He moves 110. On top of that, he even moves to a position that he sees the survivor thanks to the recent buff from I think a year ago, maybe 2. Mainly a year ago. But on top of all of that, he hunts for longer thanks to that rework that he's gotten. So literally it made playing against the Assassin like an unavoidable hit. The Assassin's way quicker. He's literally kind of the best guard right now to use for getting hits right now. But that's the problem though. Knight players are going to heavily rely on this guard a lot. That most of the Survivor games, you're just always going to go up against the same exact guard that they spam, rather than going up against the Jailer and maybe even Carnifex. Well, I don't think the Carnifex is rarely ever going to be used for chase, but at least you'll be going up against a Jailer, which can make the gameplay a little bit interesting, because Jailer is slower, but he hunts for longer. Assassin's faster, but he hunts for a little bit shorter, though it's still long thanks to the buff he's got. But that's the problem with the Knight now. He feels sluggish to play because all of his guards are on cooldown when you use the Assassin. So you can't switch up your gameplay like you usually used to back in PTB. And so what happens is that Knight now feels really clunky and sluggish to play because you're stuck waiting for your guard to come off cooldown so that you can just gen snipe or be able to send it at a survivor you recently hit to either waste your time or to just try to 2v1, even though it's now not even that great, unless if it's the Jailer. But now that's going to be the problem. There's going to be most people, Knight players, they're going to rely on the Assassin, and it's going to make the gameplay very boring for both sides, because as for on the Survivor side, you're literally going up against the same guard that's chasing you over and over again, and it just gets boring as hell. And for the Knight side, while having a guard that can constantly get Survivor hits is a good thing, the problem is that you're not getting much hooks. I just realized that I'm getting hits in this game, yet I'm not getting that much hooks, and they're still getting the gens done quickly. And it's mainly probably because with the Assassin, when you have to be close to the Assassin, and then once he hits a Survivor, then you'll have to do the finishing move there, unless if you're off cooldown again. So, but with the Jailer though, the Jailer's hunt is so damn long that even if you're near 8 meters with that guard, the elapse of that hunt doesn't feel that too short, and so you can still kind of sandwich tech these survivors even with Jailer, but just not with Assassin or Carnifex. Now, I like the rework that behavior tends to go, having your guards do your work and rarely often sandwich teching somebody, but for the love of God, he feels weaker than he was before because he feels clunky to use. Yes, the guards feel much better, but the Knight itself doesn't feel that good to play now no more. It feels like this rework had buffed his guards, but nerfed the Knight. That's what it kind of feels like right now, I'm not even gonna lie. Either way, I have a rework in my head right now, and here's my suggestion right here to kind of fix the Knight. I don't know if behavior is going to do this, but if they actually do, it will make a Knight a kind of unique killer to play for both sides at least. So here's my own rework I have in mind. So change 1. I decided to add some class roles into this killer. What I mean by that is that the Knight has 3 class roles that each guard can fit in: Order, Patrol, and Hunt. Now, Carnifex is mainly used for Order, as he could break pallets and generators really damn quickly, like about, I think 1.8 now. And the Assassin is mainly used for hunting survivors since he's the faster one, and applies deep wound upon hit. Jailer is used for patrol since he has faster patrol speed, has a longer detection range, or a bigger detection range, and a much longer patrol duration. So he's usually used to be able to patrol areas. But because of that longer hunt duration he now has, I guess he is okay too to hunt survivors. Now, this is not just to say that you have to use these guards just for these type of roles. You can still use the Carnifex to patrol and chase survivors. It's just not that efficient. You can still use Assassin to damage or to do orders and to patrol, just not as efficient. And you can still use the Jailer to mainly order, just not as efficient. Though he can still kind of hunt and patrol better now. So I guess he has like 2 positives now. It's kind of hard to balance out with Jailer now. Anyways, that's my theory. So here's the example. The reason why I added this whole class system role is because, let's just say, well, okay, here's the example video I'm gonna put out. So here's my example right here. So let's just say I want to switch to Jailer right now. And then let's say I just wanted to patrol that gen right there and see if he can catch any survivor. And if he initiate a hunt because he found a survivor, well, now the hunt survivor is gonna be hunted the longest. And then let's just say I go over here, and I swap to the assassin, and then I can assassin over, and I could send the assassin over there. And if he sees a survivor, great. However, though, like I mentioned earlier about the role, about the class roles, if the assassin spots a survivor, then the jailer that previously is hunting a survivor will end because the hunting class is overtaken by the assassin. Now, what if I don't send the assassin? Well, what if I just switch to Carnifex, and then I just let the assassin chase somebody, and then just go over here, and then I somehow find a survivor over here, and then let's just say they throw this pallet. Well, then I can send the Carnifex and then just break a pallet. And because the class role is order and not like hunt or patrol, the jailer can still chase somebody while Carnifex is breaking the pallet, because it's two different class roles. He's hunting a survivor and he's breaking a pallet. So, and let's just say I send jailer out to hunt, or not to hunt, but to patrol like this area, and he hasn't seen a survivor. If I send the assassin out on the sniper gen, well, now he's considered patrolling, and so jailer will disappear because the class role of patrolling is overtaken. Now the order is kind of tricky because the guards normally break them quickly. Due to the buff, now assassin and jailer break at 5 seconds. Carnifex is going to be breaking it insanely fast. All I can think of is that a guard cancels a pallet, but I don't know if I would worry about that. It's mainly the patrol and hunt. So that's the example I get to show you. So that's my example that I wanted to share with any of you guys. Now, I also want to mention a little bit of extra quality of lives to make him much smoother. So, like I mentioned about the class roles, yes, I like the class roles, and it's kind of my perfect idea. It kind of makes Knight more interesting killer of how he uses guards, in my opinion. That's what I believe, and it fulfills more of a purpose as to why you can manually swap your guards too. But I also wanted to add, like, I know people are probably gonna be, well, okay, here's a buff and a nerf that I have in my head. So the Knight's guards will have a cooldown for 20 seconds instead of 10. Now, hear me out though. Yes, the guard's gonna have a 20 seconds, and the reason why I say this is because it will stop the Knight players and encourage them to not use the same guard over and over, and will swap. However though, each guard will have their own individual cooldown, just like in the PTP. So if you summon the assassin, and if he gets a hit, or if somebody catches a flag, or just gets canceled in any way by the class roles, or anything at all, he'll be in a 20-second cooldown, so that if you're going to want to keep spamming with Knight, you're going to be suffering more of a sluggish crap. However though, if the assassin is on cooldown for 20 seconds, then you can summon Jailer or Carnifex, and you can still be able to summon them because they won't be on cooldown. So give guards a 20-second cooldown each, but give them their own individual cooldown, kind of like Vecta spells. Now, I know this is just my opinion, but I like Call of Arms to be base kit because I just love that add-on a lot. I mean, I guess it doesn't have to be base kit, but I just feel like Knight feels so much smoother to play with that add-on. Map of the Realm itself is a great add-on, and I'm so happy it's base kit now, so nothing new to change that there. But I just kind of wish Call of Arms was base kit, because I just like the add-on so much. But nobody has to agree with me on that, though. If it's not base kit, that's okay. I'm still going to run it regardless. It's just a must-have for me. But yeah, that's just, I kind of want all Call of Arms to be base kit, so if it's possible, I would like that as well. But I also like to improve AI function with these guards. That's kind of my last change right here. Because the guards AI still works nearly trash. Like, I know Behavior did some kind of tweaks with them, but I feel like they're mostly I feel like they're just mostly the same though, because like if a guard's chasing a survivor and they drop a pallet right in front of them, they still go around it, and instead of just going through it, they literally just go around it, and it wastes a bunch of their time. So like, and instead, same. I don't know if it's the same thing as Windows. Now, each guard that will phase through a pallet and stuff, they'll phase through it faster, a little bit faster, not too crazy fast. So like instead of going around the pallet, all guards will just phase through it like how they would normally need to work. Same thing goes with Windows. They'll phase through Windows a little bit faster, but they'll phase through pallets a little tiny bit faster. But Windows they'll phase through faster because survivors can still repeatedly vault it. But the same thing they can do with pallets, but pallets are limited though. Once they're broke, they can't be used. And also, if a survivor touches a window or a pallet, it kind of glows, and the guard will run to it rather than just going at them. Now look at the jailer in this video. He's literally being runned by that thing. Well, until I came, but he would have been runned by that thing by just circling around him. And it's because the guards seem to take like sharp turns. Let's just say there's like a rock in Omni, and jailer or assassin is chasing that survivor. If the survivor decides to loop that guard with a rock, they'll take a curve turn really smooth. They'll take a curve turn, so they turn smoother and faster. The guards don't seem to turn curve smoother as well. They don't seem to take a curve turn. They like to take like sharp turns, and it slows them down. So survivors literally gain distance a little bit over time while they're being chased, which should not be a thing. What about if they touch a window or a pallet and they just run to it? So if a survivor actually does touch a window or a pallet, and let's just say like Killer Shack, the guard is still going to run at that location. That way survivors will gain distance. However, though, the guards won't take too sharp turns like I mentioned earlier with the rock situation. So that way they don't make too much distance where they're literally uncatchable in like the entire hunt duration, or if they can catch a banner in time. But if a survivor takes like a smooth curve turn at a window or pallet instead of a sharp one, the guard will not go to that specific pallet or window. So guards will not be fooled by their trick if they take a smooth curve turn rather than a sharp turn. So guards will get fooled a little bit if they take their sharp turn, but not if they take their smooth curve turn. That's kind of my only way to fix about that situation. So that's kind of all of my changes for the night. I mean, I like AI function improvements. It makes the guards feel a little bit better, but it's kind of hard for me to like wanting to go through the roof with it, because then the guards will just literally be inescapable, and we don't want that. So hopefully this hopefully that this rework in my head is good. If any of you have any suggestions about this, let me know down in the comments. But in my personal opinion, that's how the night should be now. So now I must get back to playing more night and see how I feel more.